Anyway, I really want to tell you about this book.
Okay, so our next segment is S.O.S. Oh my god. We need to find an ABBA version of S.O.S. Like not an ABBA version, but an like a version of S.O.S. but like an instrumental. I'll look it up. One that we can get for like royalty free.
Okay.
Yep. Anyhow, this is Sentient Object Sm.
Now, listen. I heard about this through Gnome Patronus.
Okay.
Because she is my friend in Sentient Object Sm. Like, I know that if I send her, much like you, like if I send her a book about fucking garden shit, she's gonna be like, yeah, okay. So she's the one that told me about this. I am not even a tiny bit sad.
Okay.
To tell you about a book that I just read called Corn Daddy.
I've seen it.
It's by Helena Woodcock.
That's a little too on the nose, Helena.
It's on the nose.
It's on the tip of a cock.
I'm very excited. I'll read the synopsis to you because I can't not. And then I'll tell you about the book. It's like 62 pages, so it's not it's not that bad. Okay. This is corn.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
No. It's going to be answered by you reading the synopsis. So go for it.
Maybe. Okay. He's got the juice.
Okay. No! You cannot take that beautiful little child singing about corn, you've got the juice, and making it dirty. No! I refuse. It's like somebody making a song about that kid that's like, I like turtles. No! Or not a song, a book about that. No!
I'm sorry, but that reaction was like, oh, I'm so grateful for it. Okay. Liz has always had the worst luck with love. She can't help falling for the bad boys, but they're never willing to make her a priority. Being stood up at the annual fall corn maze is the last strike against her latest...
The corn maze? Okay. Hey, y'all, we're going down to the corn maze for this year.
It's a thing in her tiny-ass town that there's like a corn maze that everybody goes to. The farm is filled with happy couples, but Liz is ready to head home and concede her losses over a cup of spiked cider. It figures. The mysterious man hiding in the corn maze has an entirely different plan. He has eyes for Liz and isn't willing to let her go so easily. He's nothing like the guys Liz is used to dating, and she can't get him off her mind. He makes a fast and hot first move, and when he starts talking commitment, it makes Liz's head spin. Is she ready to give up everything she's ever known for the sake of true love and desire? Liz can't help wondering if she has found her produce prince, or if this is just another bad apple in her bushel.
Okay. So, all right. Okay. I would assume you're going to describe this gentleman to me. Okay.
So Liz rolls up to this corn maze. I shit you not, the dude she's supposed to be meeting there, his name is Chaz. So
no.
So Chaz stands her up.
Side note, we just watched a movie today where the lead character's name was Thad. No. Anyhow. Continue.
So Chaz stands her up, and she's like, fuck it, I'm gonna try the corn maze. Like, apparently this is like a thing. Like, every year, it's like this whole big thing. It sounds a little bit like a harvest festival, or like, some sort of last hurrah before...
You know who corn mazes are usually for?
Children?
Yep.
Yeah. In this case, it's everyone.
Okay.
So she's like, fuck this, I'm gonna do the corn maze on my own. And inevitably gets lost and can't find her way out. And so she starts like trying to climb up to see if she, like, try to like peek over the corn and like stand on a hay bale, like try to like look up to see if she can like see
where she's at
she's at. And then all of a sudden she's like feeling disoriented, like a fog descends, and she's like, well, shit, She passes out and wakes up in, like, she doesn't know where she is, but she is, like, tied up in a corn man's den, basically.
Okay. Is it an ear of corn, or is it like a stalk of corn?
Stalk of corn.
So he's like, his body is all green?
Yes.
Okay.
You can guess what his penis is, but we'll get there.
A piece of corn?
Yeah.
An ear of corn?
Ear. Yep. Okay. So she wakes up in this, like, burrow, basically.
Uh-huh.
And
Mrs. Weasley's there. She's like,
she's like, I got it. I'll feed you. Don't worry about it. So
you'll get fucked. You'll have as many kids as I've got here, but don't worry about it. Mm-hmm.
So she's like, what the fuck? Like, what, who are you? Where am I? What's going on? And he basically is like, she said something about, like, I don't understand. I forget how exactly he eventually admits to drugging her. Like, that's what the fog was. Hang on.
Okay. Wow. All right.
And he's legitimately like,
every breath you take.
he legitimately feels bad. And he's like, I didn't want to do it, but I had to. And she was like, what the fuck do you mean I had to? You had to do it.
Sorry, I had to roofie you. I'm so sorry.
And he was like, you were breaking the corn. So he comes to, like, kidnap her and ties her up. And for, reasons, she's attracted to him. And, of course, he's attracted to her.
Is he all muscly? Is he all, like, green muscly? Because usually, I see that in these books, the through line is always the sentient object, whatever it is, person that becomes object, or, usually it's like fucking muscles for days, like those fucking marshmallow peep guys.
So no, he's tall, but I don't recall him being, like, jacked. Like, he was just large. A stalk of corn is, like, pretty tall. Okay.
What's his face look like?
Okay, so I'm looking for, like, the description of him. Okay. So he, like, is in the shadows, of course. And,
as you do when you're a corn man.
As one does. Liz wasn't sure exactly what she had been expecting. Sure, she had anticipated a cast-off from society, because, she's, like, underground in a corn maze. As one does. She thought he might appear weak and somehow just slightly off. Some guys carried that sense of the uncanny. They looked perfectly normal and respectable on the outside, but there was something else underneath that slid through just enough to alert others to stay away. He silently moved one hulking leg and then the other as he came to stand in front of her. She scanned him from top to bottom and back to top again. This was no man. He was enormously tall. If Liz had to guess, she would have said that he stood at least 2 full feet above her. He was naked, sort of. His feet and calves looked like they were protected by tall work boots. But on second inspection, Liz realized that he was covered in a layer of leaves. The leaves seemed to sprout from his actual body, wrapping and hugging his muscles with gentle curves of green. His calves, thick like tree trunks, were exposed, of course, but the leaves began again just around his pelvic region. The foliage curved
He's got a
upward,
cock pocket.
reaching to brush the edges of his prominent hip bones. His abdomen and chest were mighty and muscular like that of a man, except he was larger and more defined than any man Liz had ever seen. Mm-hmm. His arms were fit to pull deep roots straight from the ground. The leaves began again on his forearms, thick and curly, hanging down over his hands. His face was mostly obscured by the same sturdy leaves. They reached high in sheaths that clung to his features, occasionally parting to expose a flash of a glance or the curl of a dark smile.
Okay.
She does talk about, like, he has, like, a seemingly normal mouth, although I don't remember if she
does he have a tongue?
Says anything about teeth. He does have a tongue because he uses it. And She actually makes a comment about how his tongue is very strong. And
he beatboxed my clit with that fucking strong tongue.
Basically. So she's like, he says, I felt the moment you stepped inside of me.
What? Okay, all right.
I can feel the energies that come and go throughout the corn. It's sort of a connection I have with the universe. Small things intertwined. Feeling the energy of a place influencing the weather.
No. Just this is too like highbrow. No. Just tell me where the butter comes from.
There we
go. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think you've guessed correctly that he does in fact come butter.
Jesus wept.
I will say, like, so he's basically, the whole thing is like, you are my queen, like you are my fated mate, essentially, like you are going to.
You are my corn queen.
You will be my queen, and she's like, no. She's like, we can fuck, but like I am not gonna be your queen.
I gotta live here. What happens? Can I go home? Am I allowed to go home?
Nope. And so he denies. He does start to eat her out, and then he denies her orgasm because she's like, I'm not going to be your corn queen or whatever. So he's like, okay, suit yourself, and lets her leave. So like she stays home for a couple of days. She definitely goes to the grocery store and buys an ear of corn for the exact purpose that you think she's going to use it for. She does. There's a comment though where she says that she boils the corn because she doesn't want vagina worms. And,
like, just...
Anyway, she ends up going back to him. Of course.
Okay.
He comes butter. She like dropped her purse in the corn maze when she went back to go look for him. And so she's like a missing person. I mean, like she obviously never appeared, but she's living in this burrow below the corn maze, and she's pregnant with corn babies.
Well, you know what's really interesting?
What?
Besides, most of these ones, they don't really give an ending to what's going to be happening. Like I think the marshmallow one, we just like, oh, well, this is going to be my new normal.
Right.
How? And I'm trying to remember the one that you did before that one.
Sweet.
Yeah, but how is this gonna work? You know, like the one that I did last time, the grocery one. At least we know that like she had a baby with her husband.
Right.
And that like that whole thing like wasn't gonna happen again, like her and the grocery man. But like this one at least, you know that she stays and they have many little. Okay. What kind of baby is coming out of this ungodly union?
Okay, so I don't know because she's still pregnant, like, obviously.
Niblets.
Literally at the end, that is the last line.
Shut the front door.
Is my niblet. That's the last line. Yeah.
You know what? Why don't you just make him the Jolly Green Giant? Just make him the fucking growling...
I'm loving everything that you're saying. Hang on. I have things I want to read to you.
Okay, I'm so sorry. I cut you off the last time you read a quote just because I was like,
it's hysterical.
Nah.
Okay. All right, so she does say, his sprawling arm casually draped itself around her belly, swollen with little swimming cornlets.
No.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I need to read my highlights to you. So, So there's, content warnings and stuff, because duh. The content warnings end with, as for those of you who just read that content warning like a shopping list, repeat after me. The corn man can be a hot guy, but the corn man is not a good guy. We don't want to date the corn man, okay? And then the next page says, so, like, have you ever been kind of attracted to the Jolly Green Giant? Prepare to embrace these deep-seated leafy desires because this weird little romp was written just for you. You may never look at a can of corn the same way again.
Have I been turned on by the Jolly?
I have not. I can tell you that.
I haven't either. I'm like, besides the fact that like he's like a very happy-looking cartoon. Mm-hmm. Well, he's got his son Sprout, so too. Okay. He's a good father.
Yay! Well, the bar's on the floor for men.
Okay. the bar's got to move because we're talking about like fucking.
We are
corn men. I mean,
we are.
Okay.
Okay. This one made me laugh. She was desperately horny and hanging naked from a crucifix made of corn stalks. This day had certainly taken a turn.
What? Well, I guess it's supposed to be a scarecrow, I would assume.
Oh, no, this is when he kidnapped her. He tied her up. I guess so. She was like tied to corn stalks. Liz knew all of the things that looked like red flags, but it was kind of different this time.
Did you, Liz? Did you? Did you, Liz? Because you let him ejaculate in you, and, I mean, he's a corn man.
Not until later. This quote was like, is earlier in the book before he...
I think we should send this to the green flag guy.
The last one that I wanted to send to you is like the last line of the book prior to the epilogue. Finally they have sex, right? Mm-hmm. The last line is, Liz's corn had been successfully creamed.
No. Oh, yeah, hold on. No! That was my Michael Scott for you.
Anyway, ladies and three gentlemen, that's Corn Daddy.
So, here's the thing
Helena
that I think...
Woodcock, which reminds me of Helena Handbasket from Friends.
I mean, how was it written?
I mean...
None of these are really awfully written,
right, it's not,
honestly.
It's not terrible. It's a book. I mean,
right.
it's a short book. It's only 62 pages. It's fine.
I'm assuming, honestly, a lot of these are...
This is too highbrow.
Yeah. Don't, just fucking... No. Just get to the fucking dicks. Corn dicks. Corn dogs. I'm gonna say this, and I'm not saying that they're better writers.
There, though, it's literally called Corn Daddy. So,
I'm gonna say two things. First is, I'm not saying this because I think men are better writers. I'm not saying that, but I have a feeling that a lot of these are written by men. Because
it's possible.
They're like, some of them are like not hot, and you're like, that's not hot. Like, but that to a guy would be hot, like.
But he does go down.
Well, I think I've noticed that a lot more, but movies is like definitely men are going downtown before anything in movies and TV shows. So I think that that's just becoming quite the norm. So thank God, Yep. The second thing is, I personally think this all stems from, and it's not. I mean, like it's been a while. It was a long time ago. But still, I think that not all of it, but I think a lot of it has stemmed from us like sexualizing things like the Jolly Green Giant, which is fine. Whatever your little thing that to get you off is, but also Swamp Thing.
Oh,
because Swamp Thing was an intelligent scientist before unfortunately, radioactive, radiation turned him into Swamp Thing. And unfortunately, Swamp Thing was just like this big burly, like he killed women, killed people for the woman he loved. And, but he was Swamp Thing. The thing with Swamp Thing, though, is he couldn't physically have sex with his girlfriend.
Oh.
He had to, she ate from one of his flowers that was growing on him, and they had a psychedelic mind meld to where that's where they had or didn't have babies. She gets pregnant, but that's a storyline from another day.
How?
But his friend, he willingly takes over his friend's body so that way he can have sex with her, so that like
Ghost.
Yeah, like that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But I would say like things like that, I think that where you have the monster who is so sympathetic that is kind of sexy. So I think that that's kind of where some of this comes from. I mean, that's just my own opinion, but I can see the hallmarks in some of this stuff, especially like this was like, yeah, but like it would be great if Swamp Thing just had a dick, like that would be wonderful. But like, And so I think that might be part of it, is like, yes, you know, I don't know, could be. And there's like, and he's, you know, wanting to save us and be like big burly daddy. Gross. I can't believe I fucking just said that. Gross.
Yeah, Corn Daddy does say at one point, hang on, I'll have to find it. My headphones got wrapped up in my pen. Oh God. I'm not into the daddy kink, so I was like trying to not think about that while I was reading it. Where are you? She's quite insolent, which I think is hysterical. Okay. Liz blinked. So you're what? A leaf guy? That's not the correct term. Then what am I supposed to call you? You'll call me daddy. And she goes, yeah, good fucking luck with that, buddy. Okay, so he's probably not going to kill me, but he's definitely a corn person. So there's that.
What happens if he gets too hot? Does he become popcorn?
I don't know, but I low-key hope so. Like, I mean...
You know, it would be great if she had gone home and those 2 days, instead of getting corn, well, she got corn, but then she just made popcorn with it. That'd been cool. Or a nice, delicious Mexican street salad.
Delicious. Oh my God, now I want Mexican street salad. I need to put
or street corn, whatever. Street corn salad, yeah.
Please, delicious. Oh my God. Okay, so anyway, that is Corn Daddy.
Well, as we post these on our YouTube, I will say we're a bi-weekly podcast. If you want to hear more of this stuff, join us over on wherever you listen to podcasts. We are the Chick Lit Book Club podcast, so it's not all sentient object porn. It is a lot of it's romance novels,
like the one we're talking about tonight is Not Another Love Song by Julie Soto.
So like and subscribe and do all those good things.